Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. I'm George Wright III, and I'm your host. Are you ready for your daily dose of vitamin G? I hope so, because I am ready to rock and roll. Got a little bit of a sore throat today. I've been doing a lot of recordings, but I think we're going to be good. So I'm excited about getting this episode going for you. First, I want to mention something though. I'm going to be in San Diego this week for one of our high net worth wealth summits. So I want to make sure, and I'll make sure I take some good videos by the pool. Or at the live event. But I'd like you to be watching on Facebook for some Facebook Lives and other exciting updates. I'll be spending the week with seven-figure mindset experts like real estate investing with Aaron Adams, stock investing with Mike Koval. We've got business structure and tax reduction strategies with Clint Coons. And we'll be also even going over foreign exchange with Brandon Boyd. But there's a lot of content, education, and training that we'll be providing on taxes, estate planning, entity structuring. So I hope you'll tune in. Keep your eyes on Facebook feed when we get that out there, because when it's appropriate, I will absolutely stream some content for you. Anyway, back to the task at hand. We are on episode 87, and the formula that guides you to massive success by basically teaching you to crave your best life. Now, yesterday we discussed the reason I'm covering this formula. So if you didn't listen to yesterday's podcast, stop this one and go back and listen to it. So for those of you that did hear it, I want to jump right into the first step. And this is the step called create your vision or your blueprint. That's the letter C in the acronym CRAVE. So creating your vision. Now you must have a blueprint for your life, or you're just you're executing on a plan that doesn't actually have any concrete objectives. Now, I know you're probably saying, but George, I've heard you say that already, and I've heard you say it over and over. Yeah, but listen, I'm going to keep saying it until you get your vision spelled out and clarified, okay? Having a few pictures on your phone or a list of things that you want to accomplish isn't going to cut it. A blueprint is just that, a blueprint. What would happen if you had, let's say you were building your dream home and the builder showed up, and even though he was highly recommended and really experienced, what if he showed up and said, "No worries, man, I got it right up here," as he's pointing to his head? What would you do? I know what I'd do. It's like, don't let the door hit you on your way out. But listen to me, you've got to drill down your life to the level of detail and create a vision that you can get really, really excited about. It's hard to get excited about a picture. It's hard to get excited about a few ideas. You must create and crave your best life in order to manifest it, because you need to do this so that you can crave your plan and your life more than your obstacles. Let me say that again. You need to be able to learn to crave your life more than your obstacles. And here's one for you to think about. You also need it so that you can crave your dreams more than your happiness. I'm going to say that again, because some of us, we want our short-term happiness more than we want our dreams and goals and true desires. So you've got to be able to create a plan so that you can crave your dreams and your ultimate life more than your happiness in some cases, right? So how do you do this? Well, let's start here. Number one, brainstorm. Block out some time. I can't emphasize this enough. Some of you hear what I'm saying, but you still haven't dedicated time to sit down and list out or write out in a journal or literally spell out what you want your life to be like. Until you do this, you might as well hit, stop on this podcast, because you're not going to ever get your plan started. You need to be able to set time to brainstorm. Then you can start to clarify your plan. Now, this is going to require going another level deeper. What do you want your career to look like? What type of car do you want? What type of home? Or do you want to be able to travel? What type of lifestyle do you want? What do you want your lifestyle to be like? What type of time freedom will you enjoy? What type of relationships do you want to have in your life? Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be with? How do you want to live? Who do you want to have help you, or who do you want to support, other people like your kids or your family and friends or your parents? What type of money do you want to be making? I hope you're following me here. You don't have to have it all spelled out right up front or in one sitting, but the point is to literally start designing your life. Don't leave any holes, right? Fill in every area and every aspect of your life. Don't leave it to chance or you'll be leaving it to chance, if you know what I mean. I mean, how many people do you know that have really clarified and spelled out their life? Don't be like the 95%. If life is worth living, then it's worth figuring out how you want to live it. And it's worth figuring out what you want your life to be like so that you can start creating it. So once you do that, so you're going to do some brainstorming, you're going to clarify, take it to another level. Next, I want you to learn to crystallize your vision in your mind. Make it real. Basically, I want you to go even another level deeper. What type of car do you want? What color is it? What type of interior? Does it have leather or cloth interior? Is it a 2-door or a 4-door? What would it be like to drive? What would it feel like? Does it have a sporty engine? Does it drive comfortable? What do you want? What would you feel like when you're driving it? Imagine yourself driving that car and imagine what feelings and emotions that you're going to be having. Because remember, your emotions will create feelings, which create and drive your actions. Now, before you think I'm all about the things, right? I do love things, by the way. You can do the same thing with relationships, with service, charities, your passion, your mission, your family. You've got to create the level of detail that you want in each of these areas. So don't get me wrong. I love the lifestyle stuff, and it's sometimes a little easier to do. And that's why we don't get onto the others, but you have to detail your entire life out so that you can really, truly want it. Look, everybody's different. Everybody wants different things. Engage with the things that you feel will motivate you. The others will come along as well. Plus, the clearer you get with your vision, the more belief you have that it will guide and build you into that life, right? And you need this belief to guide you through the obstacles, through those discouraging times. And when you run across naysayers and dream stealers, trust me, it'll be your fuel when you need it. But you have to brainstorm, you have to clarify, you have to crystallize this life that you're creating. Just block out some time and do it. You'll thank me for it. You'll thank me for it later. I promise you. Ultimately, you'll have a higher degree of confidence and sense of peace when you clarify what it is you're doing and you know why you're doing what you're doing every day. Most of us are in this grind and we're executing and building and working like crazy. And it's not for a strong reason. Having a clear vision brings you direction. It also gives you a sense of knowing and confidence and structure even to all the decisions that you're faced with every day. When you're asked, and as entrepreneurs, we have all these opportunities presented with us. When you've got a clear vision of what you want, you won't make the wrong decisions as often, right? Because we always make wrong decisions, obviously. But there's also a couple of other suggestions I'd like to make to you. Now, for example, why don't you go ahead and refer back to the podcast I did on dream building? I think it's like episode 84. It was just last week. That's something that can help aid you in doing this. Also, I recommend getting out and touching and feeling your lifestyle items so that you can, basically help your mind create a vivid and detailed emotion and image around what you're trying to do. Use all the senses: touch, feel, smell, and listen. These senses will strengthen the image that you have in your mind, and it'll make it more real, and your subconscious mind will work towards making it happen. So if you'll work to create and build a solid vision of your life, this is the first step in the CRAVE formula, then you'll have one of the most important steps completed, right? And you'll be ready to build upon that foundation for your life, and we can move easily and quickly into the second step in the CRAVE formula. After creating your vision, it's time to resolve to manifesting this vision. The R in CRAVE stands for resolve to manifesting this vision. That's right. You're going to need to build a pretty solid, immovable resolve that will help you to create this life. Now, we're going to break that down tomorrow, and I look forward to that discussion. But in the meantime, send me some feedback on where you're struggling, questions you have, or even ideas, or clarifying some of these concepts I could do for you. But just hit me up on Facebook or Instagram at the Daily Mastermind, and don't forget to download the Daily Mastermind mobile app. I mean, for crying out loud, it's tons and tons of free stuff in there that'll help you with your daily rituals. It'll keep you on track. Download it, use it. I look forward to talking with you more tomorrow for step 2 in the formula, the CRAVE formula. I'm George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind Podcast, episode 87. Have an amazing day. I'll talk with you soon.